Hi, my name is Aljabiry with eXp Realty. In this video, I'm going to tell you the pros and cons of living in Davis, California. I'm going to share with you the different neighborhoods, shopping places, grocery stores, cheap and expensive ones. I'll tell you about the commute, bus routes, rent rates, and even property prices, because who knows, maybe you will end up buying a property and staying in Davis. So stick around with me to the end, because I'm going to share with you some very important facts about your trip to Davis. So whether your trip is short or long, these important facts will be very, very helpful to you when you visit Davis. So let's get at it. So we're here talking about the pros and cons of living in Davis, California. I have lived here for about 24 years, and I can comfortably name 3 different cons of living in Davis, California. Number 1 is there are no entertainment venues for people, especially young adults. The maximum that you can find here is going to the movie theaters. We have 2 theaters within downtown, and go to the restaurants, entertainment restaurants in groups or, just singles, and go hang around the coffee shops, which we have a great selection of coffee shops around town, mainly in downtown, but even outside town, you can still find places where you can, study or entertain or, take your friend for a drink. But pretty much that's about it. There isn't much to do. If you like outdoor places, then you can maybe bike around or walk, along the green belts, but there isn't much to do. If you need to find like nightlife, for example, you have to drive to Sacramento, which is about maybe 20 minutes. If you are in Davis, especially in downtown, around maybe 6 p.m., the town goes to sleep. There is nothing else to do in downtown. So maybe for students, that's a good thing, because it's time for them to finish their studies. So the third con of living in Davis, California is that property prices are very, very expensive compared to all the neighboring cities. In Davis, the properties are very expensive to rent or to buy. So if you are thinking of renting, let's talk about students now. Students can rent a 1-bedroom within a shared situation, like shared house or, hostel, for about $1,000 per month, not including all the other expenses like internet or, electricity and all that. If you are renting a place, then you are looking at minimum $3,500. There are some, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, older homes that could rent for in the neighborhood of maybe $3,000, but mostly $3,500 and up. Some places are rented for about $4,500 per month, not including all the other expenses, of course, utilities and internet and electricity and water and stuff like that. So when you come to buy a property, of course, the same thing just goes along. The property prices are also very expensive compared to the neighboring cities. So we're talking about per square foot. Let's talk about square footage here. Generally, per square foot would be about $400 per square foot. Of course, give or take, property age, property improvement, what it provides, has swimming pool or not, how big, how improved. Too many factors play, major role in the property price. However, we will see prices don't go probably below $300 per square foot, and it goes sometimes up to $450 per square foot. So just to give you an example, to bring the image closer to your minds, a property, if you find a property in Davis for about, let's say $800,000. $800,000 is more or less a median price in Davis. $800,000, of course, it's not affordable for young adults, but that is the median price in Davis. If you take that same house and you take it and put it exactly as it is in Sacramento, anywhere, you will see that the price drops from $800 to about $550-ish, maybe $600. That's about it. So I would say comfortably that there is about $200,000 difference between the house in Davis and the same house in Sacramento area. The city of Davis does not allow expansion. So the city is kind of limited on the footage where the homes are late. Davis, if you look at the map, it's surrounded by ag areas. And sometimes in so many, like maybe February-ish, and sometimes it goes through the summertime. So June, you will see some areas, if you drive on the freeway, sunflower fields. And these like flowers just beautiful, swinging. And so many people I see, like they stop, they take pictures with the sunflower fields, and on Highway 113, Highway 102, and also on Interstate 80. And that's it. I mean, the city does not want expansion. They don't allow builders to come and build many, many homes. And that's one of the reasons, in my opinion, that Davis home prices just don't go down. And there is some control over the housing market in Davis. And the good thing about it, I have to jump into the pros now, the property prices, you don't go wrong. If you buy something, it doesn't go in value. Even in the last recession or the last real estate market dip, Davis didn't go down as much as all the neighboring cities. So your investment is intact. You don't fear that when you buy it now, it's going to go down in value. Don't even think that, because when you buy an investment property, if this is not your home, or if you live and then you decide to leave and you keep it for rental, this is going to increase in price no matter what. So we're here talking about the pros of living in Davis, California. And there are definitely way more pros than cons. And I would like to mention number one, which is safety. People so many times ask about crime rate. Davis is considered one of the safest cities in the entire state of California. The lowest crime rate brings safety to the families. It becomes a place where you can raise a family and be comfortable living without worrying about what might happen if you walk the dog or you bike, what time of the day or the night. That is number one. Talking about schools, for example, schools in Davis are rated very high compared to the nation, not just in California. And one of the best features of these schools is the music programs. So it is considered also one of the best music program in the nation. The students of high school, they usually go to Carnegie Hall in New York City to perform, and that's the highlight of the music program every single year. Talking about green, how green is Davis? Davis is very green. It has more than 100 miles of green belt and bike lanes throughout town. So we're talking about like a network of routes that are surrounded on both sides with trees and bushes and greens and flowers and, just name it. For that reason, the people who live in Davis also, they are pro-green. So they are completely into nature and organic foods and organic plants, and they do value that. So for example, in the past decade or so, we had 2 drought seasons. So between 2000, 2002, these are like 2 years that California went through drought. Then from 2007 to 2009, that's another 2 years of straight drought. Because we had restrictions on usage of water, so many homeowners decided to remove the grass, which is, mostly in Davis, covering the front yards, and replacing that with a more drought-friendly landscaping. So they have the rocks, different color rocks, and more drought-friendly plants, like desert-type plants. They look amazing, actually. I walk by these landscaping front yards that were landscaped maybe like 5 or 6 or even 10 years ago, and they look amazing. I mean, they blend very well in the environment and they look very well in these neighborhoods. So that's for the majority of homeowners here. That's what they do. And aside from that, we have a lot of activities in schools. So for example, if you have a student, your child is a student in UC Davis, there are so many jobs for students in town. So we have the Unitrans, the bus line in Davis, which goes counterclockwise or clockwise. It's all run by UC Davis students. They also, like the city of Davis, they have the summer programs run also by UC Davis students. And one of the biggest one is called Summer Quest. And this program caters for older children. So for example, if your child is between 6 years old and 12 years old, that's when you have them join this Summer Quest program. It's kind of daycare for older children where the chaperones are college students. So they're not so much like a mom and dad figure. They're like my older friend that I'm going with throughout the day. So they do have so much fun. I remember my children used to be in Summer Quest, and they used to love these students, play with them throughout the day. They usually take them to like long trip every week to San Francisco art museum, or to other places where they have like highlight of the week, and not necessarily stay in Davis. So these are the programs that would cater to the residents of Davis, and that's the beauty about it, that the families don't need to worry about their kids in the summertime, don't have anywhere to go. So these are programs specifically for those children. So I would like to add my 2 cents to the pros and cons as a combo. So some people think that the cons are actually pros. And why is that? So back when I moved to Davis in the 90s, there was absolutely no shopping like big box, one of those big boxes, department stores. It took Target and the city more than a decade to even get Target to pass through the voting system within the city. The residents of Davis don't even want shopping in town. They would rather, when they need something, they go to Woodland, Vacaville, Sacramento, downtown Sacramento, wherever it is, they go to get their essentials. But they don't want that mall to be in their town. They don't want people from the freeway to just, go through town because of shopping. They wanted to limit the residents and the traffic inside town. And for that reason, even when in 2009 the ballot passed for Target to be built in, it was about, I think, 100,000 square feet, a big box to be built in town. When it passed, it was like 51% of the vote went toward building Target. So even when it passed, it was actually 50-50, almost 50-50% residents, voters decided, or they wanted that big box to be built in Davis. Everyone seems to want this little town to stay preserved, protected. They want to eliminate the crime rate within town by eliminating the extra traffic that is totally not needed. And for that reason, even though I mentioned shopping as a con, and that's maybe some people would look at that, but in reality, it is a pro that, we have Target, but we don't have these huge malls and, thousands of people coming to town every day or something like that. So we do value the profile of the city and how it is laid out, and the people who live here, who operate the system, who run the bus system, who run the stores, who just be there as volunteers, as chaperones. It's just a beautiful mesh of different types of people, all love each other, work together, and it's just a beautiful place to be. Did I mention Mondavi Center in Davis, California? It's the Robert and Margaret Mondavi Center for the Performing Arts. It is built within the UC Davis campus and was named after the Mondavi family, who donated $10 million to help build this center. Later, they also funded the Wine and Food Science Institution within the same campus. And they actually have been part of the operational activities of the center. So if you drive outside or you walk outside, you will see like a very, very beautiful and very pleasing to the eye building from outside. If you go inside, it's the same thing, just contemporary, beautiful. I believe Bora Architects, they designed that building. And it is like, you can compare it to like a box within a box. The reason for that design is because the building is just adjacent to Highway 80. So the noise from the freeway combined with the noise of the train that runs east and west, the whistles, every once in a while when it passes, makes the center very, very, fragile, fragile for the noises surrounded with. So the design is meant to protect the building from the noise outside. So once you go inside, as if there is no freeway or train or anything, it's just so tranquil inside. And what you see also is these movable soundproof panels. I think they adjust them, not I think, I know. They adjust them based on the type of performance on stage. So they keep going back and forth until they reach, the sound effect that they want, and that's when they stop. So it's beautiful inside and out. There is not even one time that I went there without seeing somebody from town that I know. There is an annual membership that anyone can buy, not just residents of Davis, but you can purchase it. It's annual. You can definitely purchase like single performances, but there is a lot of variety. There is dance, jazz, orchestra. There is also UC Davis Orchestra that performs seasonally there, ballet. There are some groups from the United States or from abroad. Actually, they also bring some foreign groups to perform within the center. So it's a beautiful addition to the city. I can't wait to show you all around. Please tap the bell, subscribe. I will tell you everything you need to know about Davis, California. And I would love for you to text me your questions. If you need anything to know, I can definitely give you the answer. Or if you are in town and you would like to, get some feedback, feel free to contact me. Maybe we can have some coffee in downtown or something. Okay, I'll see you later.